Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we are going to prove theorem 11.1.2. But before that, we need to recall a related theorem, and that theorem was that if you have two lines, okay, and you don't know if they are parallel or not, okay, you have two lines and a transversal which is cutting these two lines. Suppose you have line A, B, and C, D, okay, and there is a transversal which is cutting these two lines. Now if you know that the alternate angles are common, suppose this is angle 1 and this is angle 2, so if angle 1 is congruent to angle 2, okay, then this will imply that AB is parallel to CD. So whenever you have two lines about which we don't know whether they are parallel or not, but if we know that the alternate angles so formed with the help of these lines and this transversal, then if the alternate angles are congruent, then the lines must be parallel. Okay, this is a theorem which we are going to use in theorem 11.1.2. okay, so you need to remember this theorem, that whenever the alternate angles are equal, then the lines are always parallel. Whenever you have this information, from this information we can easily deduct that AB is parallel to CD. This is a theorem that you have proved in class 8 also. So we will use the direct statement of this theorem, that if the alternate angles are congruent, then the lines are parallel. Okay, the statement of the theorem is that if two opposite sides of a quadrilateral are parallel, so you have a quadrilateral, a four-sided figure in which it is given that two of its sides, two opposite sides, okay, let us take those sides to be AB and CD. So we have two opposite sides which are parallel as well as congruent. Okay, we don't know anything about these two sides. We know only about two sides of this quadrilateral. So these are parallel and congruent. Then it is a parallelogram. So if you have a four-sided figure and you know only about the two sides of this quadrilateral, that the two opposite sides are parallel and congruent, then it will be enough to prove it as a parallelogram in which all the opposite sides, or these two opposite sides are also parallel. Then this forms a parallelogram. We have to prove that these two sides are also parallel to one another and equal. This will prove that this quadrilateral is a parallelogram. But we are given the information about these two sides only. We don't know anything about these two sides. Okay, if it was given that these two are also parallel, then it would be a parallelogram. It would have been satisfied the definition of parallelogram. But till now the information that we have is about only these two sides. We don't know anything about it. So we need to prove that if according to this theorem, if these are AB is parallel to CD and AB is congruent to CD as well, then this will form a parallelogram. This is what we need to prove, and we are given that you have a quadrilateral ABCD, quadrilateral ABCD, such that AB is parallel to DC and AB is also congruent to DC. This is what they have given to us. Okay, we need to prove that this is a parallelogram. If it is so, if you have a four-sided figure and you have these two information, that AB is of the opposite sides, two of the opposite sides are parallel and congruent, then this form a parallelogram. And we need to prove that that this quadrilateral is a parallelogram. ABCD is a parallelogram. This is what we need to prove. For this, the steps of constructions are very easy. We only need to draw a diagonal. Okay, we will join B to D. Okay, and then we are going to name the angles as 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, we will name them as this is the only thing we are going to do in steps of construction. Okay, now let me tell you a summary. The summary of this theorem. First of all, what we are going to do, we are going to take triangle ABD, okay, this triangle ABD and triangle CDB, this one, okay, these two triangles, we are going to take the correspondence between these two triangles, okay, ABD and CDB, and we are going to prove them congruent by using SAS postulate, okay. This we are going to do by using SAS postulate. This is the first step we are going to do. In the second step, with the help of this congruency, we will get enough information to prove that AD is parallel to BC and equal by the related theorem that I have already discussed in the beginning, okay. We are going to use the related theorem that I have already discussed in the beginning of the theorem, and then with that we can easily prove that AD will be parallel to BC, which will show that this whole this quadrilateral is a parallelogram, okay. We will also prove that these two sides are parallel, because according to the definition of a parallelogram, a four-sided figure is called a parallelogram if its opposite sides are parallel, okay. So it will be enough to prove. They have given us that AB is parallel to CD, so the only missing thing is that we need to prove that AD is also parallel to BC. Once it is proved that AD is parallel to BC, so we can easily, okay, so let's start the proof. We are given that ABCD is a quadrilateral. We are given that ABCD is a quadrilateral such that AB is parallel to DC, AB and DC are parallel, and AB and DC are also congruent to one another, okay. So given is a quadrilateral having opposite sides parallel and congruent. To prove that ABCD is a parallelogram, we need to prove that ABCD is a parallelogram. Steps of construction are join B to D. You have to join B to D, okay, and then name the angles as in the figure. This is angle 2, okay, 1 2 3 4, as name them as it is in the figure. So the first step will be, now the first step is that we know that AB is parallel to DC, okay. AB is parallel to DC. AB is a line which is parallel to DC, and we have a transversal. Let me extend this also. It's okay. So if you see that AB and DC, these are parallel lines, it is given to us, and there is a transversal which is cutting these two such that angle 1 is formed over here and angle 2 is formed over here between BA and this transversal, okay. This is AB and this is DC, okay. So AB is parallel to DC, they are given us, and there is transversal BD which is cutting this line, okay. If you observe carefully, angle 1 is formed between these two lines and angle 2 is formed between AB and BD, okay, AB and BD. So if you see, these are the alternate angles, okay. As AB is parallel to DC, therefore these two angles will be congruent, okay. AB is parallel to DC, this is given to us, okay, and therefore let me name it as equation 1. Therefore angle 1 will be congruent to angle 2. This is because they are the alternate angles which are formed with the help of these parallel lines and this transversal. So name this one as 1, okay. We don't need this equation, okay. Angle 1 is congruent to angle 2. Now taking the correspondence between triangle ABD corresponds to triangle CDB, okay. ABD corresponds to triangle CDB. We are going to take the correspondence between these two triangles. Now be careful about it that AB is taken corresponding to CD because it was given that these two sides are congruent. So always the sides which are given to us as congruent or angles which are given to us as congruent, take them in the corresponding positions. Okay, this is because in postulate we always talk about the corresponding and congruency of the same sides. Okay, we take the congruency of the corresponding sides. Therefore, whenever we are to apply postulate, therefore we take the congruent sides which are given to us as the corresponding sides. Okay, let us take the correspondence. This AB is congruent to CD. AB is congruent to CD. This was given to us. Always write the reason in front of the statement, otherwise you won't be given any marks for that statement. Okay, if you haven't written the reason. AB is congruent to CD. Because of this was given to us. Now angle 1 is congruent to angle 2. This we have proved in equation 1. Okay, and the third side which is the same in both these triangle is triangle ABD and triangle DBC is the side BD, which is common in both the triangles. Then obviously it is equal to the BD of this triangle will be equal to the BD of this triangle because it is a common side between the two triangles. Okay, so if you see according to SAS postulate, AB and BD is congruent to DC and BD. Okay, these two sides are congruent to these two sides. Okay, AB and BD is congruent to CD and BD. Also the angle included between them is 1. The angle included between these two sides of this triangle is 2. As both the angles are also congruent, so SAS postulate SAS, two sides and the included angle of this triangle is equal to the two sides and the included of that triangle. Therefore, according to SAS postulate, triangle ABD will be congruent to triangle CDB. This is because of SAS postulate. Okay, if these two triangles are congruent, it means that the side opposite the corresponding sides as well as the corresponding angles are also congruent. Now from this we can easily see that AD corresponding to AD we have side CB. AD side CB. The side AD is corresponding to side CB or BC. Therefore AD will be congruent to CB, and the angle at the point D of this triangle ABD. Okay, this is triangle ABD, and the angle which is made at the point D is 4. So angle 4. Okay, angle at the point D will be the same as the angle at the point B of this triangle. Angle at the point D is angle 4, and angle at the point B of this triangle CDB. This is the point B of this triangle. The angle made at the point B of this triangle is angle 3. So these two angles are also going to be the same. Okay, this is because the corresponding angles, this is corresponding sides of congruent triangles, and these are because the corresponding angles of congruent triangles. So we have proved that angle 4 is also equal to angle 3. Okay, before that we had proved that angle 1 and 2 are congruent. This was because of the parallel lines these, but we didn't know anything about 4 and 3 because these lines were not parallel. Okay, now we have proved with the help of congruency of these two triangles, we have proved that angle 4 is congruent to angle 3. Now we will use this result, name it as result 2. Okay, and I am going to write it here because we are going to use it. Angle 4 is congruent to angle 3. Okay, this is equation 2. We will use it because I am going to erase this. Now we know that angle 4 is congruent to angle 3. Okay, this was 2. Okay, this we proved earlier. Now going to the next step. Now consider these two lines AD and BC. Okay, consider the lines AD and consider the lines AD, okay, AD and BC. Okay, these are the two lines, and if you see that this is a transversal which is cutting these lines. Okay, this is a transversal which is BD is the transversal cutting these lines. So if you extend these lines, now angle 4 was between AD and BD. Okay, between AD and BD we have angle 4, and between BC and BD we have angle 3. Okay, this is what I have drawn, the same picture here. Okay, without drawing these AB and CD. Now if you see that these two angles are alternate and they are congruent. Okay, we have already proved that angle 4 and angle 3 are congruent. Therefore, by using the theorem which I have discussed earlier, is that if the alternate angles are congruent, then the lines are always parallel. Okay, so angle 4 and 3 are alternate angles of these two lines and this transversal. So angle 4 is congruent to angle 3. This implies that AD will be parallel to BC because the alternate angles are congruent. Whenever we have the alternate angles congruent, then the lines are always parallel. Okay, this is the theorem we have proved in class 8, and I have discussed before starting the proof of this theorem. Okay, so AD is parallel to BC. It means we were given that AB is parallel to DC. Now we have also proved that AD is parallel to BC. As it is a quadrilateral having its opposite sides parallel, therefore now it fulfills all the definition of the whole definition of parallelogram. AD is parallel to BC. Okay, name it as 3. Now AB is parallel to DC. Okay, this was given to us, and AD is parallel to BC. This we have proved. So this is a quadrilateral whose opposite sides are parallel. So any quadrilateral whose opposite sides are parallel is called a parallelogram. Therefore we can say that, name it as 4. Therefore ABCD is a parallelogram. Okay, because the opposite sides are parallel. Okay, opposite sides are parallel. Therefore this ABCD is a parallelogram, and this is all we had to prove in this theorem. Okay.